Let's go ahead and talk about some of the actual mechanics of price discrimination. How does this all actually work out in sort of a mathematical, numerical context? So we're going to go back to the same principle of profit maximization we've been using all along, namely, produce all units that have marginal revenue greater than or equal to marginal cost. Now the difference is going to be that marginal revenue is going to be different in our two different markets because different markets have different elasticities of demand. So we'll think about marginal revenue in market 1 versus marginal revenue in market 2. And what we're going to see here is that ultimately we're going to be looking for a couple of conditions to be fulfilled simultaneously. The marginal revenue in market 1 should equal the marginal cost of production, and the marginal revenue in market 2 should also equal the marginal cost of production. And so we could put all those together, and we're looking for kind of a double equality here. Doing this with a real formula turns out to be a little bit tricky here, but I'm going to go ahead and do a numerical example to show how it might work. So we're going to have two different markets here. We're going to have the imaginatively named market 1 and market 2. And market 1 is going to go ahead and have a relationship between price and quantity. And we'll go ahead and call this uptown. And we'll think about quantity and price and total revenue in our uptown market. And we're also going to think about quantity and price and total revenue in our downtown market. And you can see that the size of this whiteboard is going to be a little bit of a limitation on me here, but I'll try to do the best I can. So, we can produce 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, and every time we want to sell another unit, we're going to cut our price by 1. And in our other market, we're going to have a different relationship between price and quantity. That's what makes it a different market, and that's what makes price discrimination potentially going to pay off for us here. So every time we want to sell one more unit, we have to lower our price by 50 cents in this market. And we're going to think about total revenue. Of course, total revenue is 0, 9, 16, 21, 24, 25, and 24 here in our uptown market. And in our downtown market, 0, 6, 11, 15, 18, 20, and 21. So now we want to think about marginal revenue. So marginal revenue here is 9, marginal revenue here is 7, marginal revenue here is 5, 3, 1, negative 1 down there. Marginal revenue here is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And if we went past here, we would get into negative marginal revenue, you can see, probably. Okay, so what's going to go ahead and, oops, I'm sorry. I put down some incorrect prices here. This should be a price of 4, and this should be a price of 3.5. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's suppose that we have a marginal cost of $3.50. So what should we do in each one of these markets? Well, if the marginal cost is $3.50, we want to produce all the units that have higher marginal revenue than their marginal cost. So in the uptown market, we want to produce the second one because it had a marginal revenue of 7. We want to produce the third one because it had a marginal revenue of $5, but we don't want to produce and sell the fourth one. So our profit maximizing quantity in the uptown market is 3 units, and to sell those 3 units, we should set a price of 7. In our other market, we want to produce the first one, yes. Second one, yes. Third one, yes. Fourth one, no. So here we also want to sell 3 units, but to sell those 3 units, we have to set a price of $5. Now in this particular case, the quantities came out the same, but the prices came out different. If I had said something like the marginal cost per unit is $1.50, what would the answer be? Well, let's go ahead and get rid of these red circles here. So if the marginal cost per unit was $1.50, then we want to go ahead and produce the fourth unit here and set a price of $6 so that we can sell 4 units in the uptown market. In the downtown market, we want to sell all the way to this 5th unit because the 5th unit has a marginal revenue of $2 here, and we would set a price of $4 here. So you can see how you could map this kind of thing out. And that's our nice numerical example of how to do price discrimination.